Today we are talking about a headline that just about made me spit my coffee across the room. A headline that, if true, might just save the modern gaming industry from its endless cycle of live service despair. The headline reads, "Report suggests Def Jam Fight for New York Remastered is in development. One of the most iconic fighting games may soon return with enhanced visuals and updated features." Let that sink in. Just breathe it in for a second. Def Jam Fight for New York returning. Now, before you go pre-ordering anything, throwing your wallet at the screen, or digging your baggy jeans out of the attic, we need to have a serious talk. Because as a gaming news channel, it is my sworn duty to scour the dark corners of the internet, separate the facts from the absolute pure unadulterated copium, and give you the truth. And the truth about this Def Jam rumor is a wild ride of nostalgia, AI-generated clickbait, and a logistical nightmare that would make even the most ruthless corporate lawyers weep. But first, let's talk about why this headline has the internet in an absolute chokehold. If you were gaming in 2004, you already know. If you weren't, gather around. Let me educate you on the greatest piece of interactive hip-hop culture ever produced. Def Jam Fight for New York wasn't just a game, it was a cultural reset. EA Games partnered with AKI Corporation, the absolute wizards behind the legendary Nintendo 64 wrestling games, and thought, hey, what if we took professional wrestling mechanics, threw out the ring, and just had famous rappers beat the absolute brakes off each other in a dive bar? It was genius. You weren't just mashing buttons, you were executing tactical, brutal combat. You could choose your fighting style: street fighting, kickboxing, martial arts, wrestling, or submissions. You could mix and match them. You created your own character, started from the bottom, and fought your way through the New York underground. And the roster, good lord, the roster. We're talking about over 70 characters. Snoop Dogg playing the main villain, Crow, Method Man, Redman, Ludacris, Ghostface Killah, Busta Rhymes, Fat Joe, Ice-T. Even Henry Rollins was there running the gym. You fought in parking lots. You fought in underground clubs. You threw people into literal subway trains. You smashed bottles over heads, broke pool cues over backs, and shoved opponents into roaring crowds who would then shove them right back into your fists. And the customization. You were taking your fight money, going to the shop, and buying actual licensed gear. Fat Farm, Sean John, Reebok. Then you strolled over to Jacob the Jeweler, yes, the actual Jacob the Jeweler, to buy chains that probably cost more than my car. It was the peak of mid-2000s excess wrapped in a fighting game that legitimately had no right being as mechanically flawless as it was. So jump cut to today, 2026. Why are we suddenly seeing headlines and reports that a remaster is in development? Well, let me break down my investigation. Over the past few months, the internet has been flooded with insider whispers and concept trailers claiming that EA is finally caving to the pressure. You scroll through YouTube or Twitter and you see these ultra-realistic 4K Unreal Engine 5 lookalike clips of Method Man and Snoop Dogg staring each other down. People are retweeting it, screaming that gaming is saved. Here's the harsh reality, folks. A massive chunk of these reports are being fueled by ultra-realistic AI videos and fan-made concept renders. We're living in an era where somebody with a decent PC and an AI generation tool can spit out a 10-second clip that looks suspiciously like a leaked PS5 Pro teaser. These clips go viral, the aggregation accounts pick them up, and suddenly rumors suggest becomes reports confirm. But what about EA? Has EA said anything? The official world is absolute radio silence. Sure, a couple of years back, the official Def Jam social media accounts teased us. They asked us who we'd want to on the cover of a new game. They posted a picture of the old game case, they fed us breadcrumbs, and we ate them up like starving pigeons in Central Park. But an actual greenlit remaster in active development, there is zero concrete industry-vetted evidence supporting this. None. And here's the biggest reason why you need to keep your expectations all the way on the floor: the licensing. Let me put this into perspective. Def Jam Fight for New York is universally recognized by anyone who understands game development as a licensing nightmare of apocalyptic proportions. When the game was made in 2004, the music industry was different. The gaming industry was different. Rappers were just excited to be in a video game. As Ice-T eloquently tweeted a while back regarding a potential sequel, yesterday's price is not today's price. Think about what it would take to remaster this game today. EA wouldn't just be updating the graphics, they would have to renegotiate the likeness rights for over 70 celebrities. Many of those artists are no longer signed to Def Jam. Some of them have their own massive media empires now. Snoop Dogg isn't just a rapper anymore, he's an international corporate entity who carried the Olympic torch and commentates on everything under the sun. Do you know what Snoop Dogg's likeness fees is in 2026? It's probably the entire GDP of a small European country. And it's not just the fighters, it's the music. The game had one of the greatest hip-hop soundtracks ever assembled. Music licensing in video games is notoriously messy. The reason so many classic games get delisted from digital storefronts. To get all those tracks cleared again forever in a modern digital marketplace, it would cost an absolute fortune. Then you have the clothing brands. Some of the brands featured in the game don't even exist in the same capacity anymore. Sean John, Fat Farm, Echo. You'd have to track down whoever owns the trademarks now and pay them, or completely strip the clothing out of the game, which ruins half the fun of the customization. As Joe Budden and others have pointed out over the years, the economics of remaking this game simply do not work. You would be spending AAA Grand Theft Auto 6 levels of money just on lawyers and licensing fees before you even paid a single programmer to update a texture. From a corporate standpoint, EA looks at that spreadsheet and instantly breaks out in a cold sweat. Now, humor me for a second. Let's pretend the reports are true. Let's pretend some eccentric billionaire decided to bankroll this project just for the culture, and EA actually greenlights a remaster or a modern sequel. Could a game like Def Jam Fight for New York even survive in today's gaming climate? Part of what made the original so beloved was how unapologetically gritty and raw it was. The disrespect was palpable. You were breaking jaws, shattering kneecaps, and stealing your opponent's girlfriend in the story mode. It was rated M for mature, and it earned every single letter of that rating. In today's landscape, it's hard to imagine a roster of modern celebrities agreeing to let their digital avatars get absolutely dog-walked and thrown into a flaming dumpster. Public image is too manicured now. Rappers have brand deals with family-friendly companies. There's too much real-life tension in the industry today. You think modern artists are going to sign off on a game where their actual real-life rivals can virtually curb stomp them in 4K resolution? Not a chance. The egos alone would crash the servers. Plus, you know exactly how modern EA would handle it. The 2004 version gave you the whole game on a disc. In 2026, a Def Jam game would be a live service nightmare. You'd get 10 fighters at launch, the rest would be locked behind a battle pass, you'd have to pay $14 for a premium currency just to unlock an alternate color for Fat Joe's sneakers. Want to do a blazing move? That'll be 500 Def coins, please. They would monetize the absolute soul out of it. Honestly, maybe it's better that it stays pure in our memories. So what is the final verdict from your boy Cyler Ray? The headline reports suggest Def Jam Fight for New York Remastered is in development, is unfortunately a beautiful, comforting lie. It is an illusion born from our collective desperation for a fighting game with actual flavor, fueled by AI tech demos, nostalgia bait Twitter accounts, and a whole lot of wishful thinking. Does that mean we will never get another hip-hop fighting game? Not necessarily. An indie studio with a spiritual successor could absolutely step up to the plate, give us the AKI engine grappling mechanics, throw in some up-and-coming underground artists, and build a new legacy. But the original Def Jam Fight for New York, that lightning is trapped in a bottle from 2004, and the cap is glued shut by decades of copyright law. If you really want to play it today, your best bet is doing what everyone else does. Finding a dusty PS2 or GameCube at a garage sale, or diving into the magical, legally ambiguous world of PC emulation where people are actually upscaling the game to 4K themselves with fan-made texture packs. Shout out to the emulation community, by the way. You guys are the real archivists keeping gaming history alive. And that is going to do it for today's breakdown. I know I had to be the bearer of bad news, but somebody had to pull off the band-aid. Let me know down in the comments, if by some miracle they did make a new Def Jam game, who would be your dream roster? Who is the final boss in 2026? Drop your thoughts below. If you enjoyed the video, you already know what to do. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already for more gaming commentary, news, and occasionally crushing your wildest dreams with logic. I'm Cyler Ray, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay safe, keep gaming, and I am out. Peace.